And staying in South Africa briefly now, this year's World Economic Forum got underway in Cape Town with a host of topics coming under discussion. Among them, Africa's economic and social development was a key focus as business leaders, civil society and government entities forge a way forward for Africa's future prosperity. Now, while host country South Africa is the most developed in terms of infrastructure on the continent, it still lacks basic services, especially in most informal townships, making it one of the most unequal societies in the world. CCTV's Travers takes a look at one township hoping for positive change and an enabling environment to emanate from the World Economic Forum in the city.
As delegates gathered for the 23rd World Economic Forum on Africa, a milestone occurs on the outskirts of Cape Town. Unbeknown to the ward-top participants at this year's forum, which focuses on the development of Africa, new toilets are being installed in a poverty-stricken township for the very first time. Basic services like potable water and sanitary facilities is a rarity here, and it's become a sober reminder of the enormous economic divide that persists in one of the most unequal societies in the world.
We see Cape Town as a very divided country. When you move to the suburb side, you see a lot of people have services, people have money, people have everything. But when you come to the other side of Khayelitsha, you see people needing the most basic needs, most basic services. People do not have access to services such as sanitation, water. There's a lot of unemployment this side.
The Khayelitsha township can be seen as a reflection and scope of this economic divide, where some residents claim they can ill afford to take simple privileges like access to toilets for granted.
So the most problem we're struggling with is the toilets. As you can see now, they are putting new toilets. There used to be very few toilets here, so we have to struggle for key because people take ownership of the toilet. So if you don't have a key, so you were not here by the time people were given keys, you're struggling to get a toilet. Even me, I don't have a key to the toilet. I ask the key from my neighbor, but if my neighbor is not there, I go over the road to relieve myself.
The NGOs who work in the township on a daily basis believe a multidimensional approach is needed if the gap of an increasing economic divide can realistically be narrowed. And the World Economic Forum, according to them, may be the ideal platform with which to declare this intent.
The World Economic Development Forum, we hope that it could improve, like for example, lives of people who, like the discussions shouldn't be only about politics. They shouldn't focus mainly on political issues. They should focus on what are the most basic needs that people need.
Even though the installation of these toilets may bring a bit of dignity to a township in the midst of poverty, positive change that emanates from this year's conference may go that much more further. South Africa remains one of the most economically unequal societies in the world. In fact, the country unceremoniously surpassed Brazil recently in ranking. Even after the advent of democracy, this informal township has become a microcosm of the social and economic disparities the country currently finds itself in. Travers, CCTV, Cape Town.